Jim Juback, and welcome to my YouTube video for Wednesday, June 14th. Important stuff first. This is the 50th anniversary of my mustache. I grew this in 1973 started it on a weekend trip when I was at the University of Virginia. I went down to Cape Hatteras. Besides, the trip is actually most memorable to me from the fact that I got really badly sunburned, like in the first hours of being there, and then discovered that there are no trees. There was no place, no shade. So what I remember doing, because I had very badly sunburned ankles at that point, was driving up to the Cape Hatteras lighthouse and then sitting in the shade of the lighthouse and following the shade around as it moved during the day. And that was my shade during my trip. But that's also the origin trip of my mustache. And to celebrate the 50th birthday anniversary of my mustache, we're doing a special sale with a 50% discount to the normal subscription price, so $99 instead of $199. You can find a link to that down below. That's for an annual subscription to Juback AM, my paid site with 6 portfolios and options and ETFs. If you are already a subscriber, I hate offers where only the new guys get anything. If you're already a subscriber, you can extend your subscription for another year for the mustache price of $99, and you'll find a way to do that if you follow the link down below. Okay, the last thing is, last week I teased you with a quiz on the larger flower back there and said, do you know what it is? It's an alstroemeria. I love them because these are going on 2 weeks as cut flowers. They last a long, long time. Okay, so today I'm filming this on the 13th. We got CPI numbers, and the headline on this video is, "What about core inflation?" All the headlines are about what I call headline inflation, which is all item inflation. And the headline here is, let's take one from Bloomberg. U.S. inflation slows, giving room for Fed to pause rate hikes. Okay, that's about the all items index. It includes everything, food, energy, whatever. The Fed, however, watches the core index, which doesn't include food and doesn't include energy prices. So the good news today is really good news about headline inflation, all items. Headline inflation dropped in May to a 4% annual rate. That's down from 4.9% in April, and it was up just 0.1% month to month. So great news if you are a human being walking around the streets of any place in New York or the rest of the United States. I tend to think there is another country beyond New York. Sometimes I forget. So good news, inflation is coming down for the stuff that you spend everything on. Bad news is that core inflation is still really, really high. It's not coming down as fast as economists had hoped. Core inflation in May was 5.3%. Economists had been looking for 5.2%. It was up 0.4% month to month. So here we're seeing all item inflation up only 0.1% month to month. Core inflation, which includes energy and food prices, up 0.4% month to month. The difference, of course, is energy. We're seeing oil prices around the world, gasoline prices come down, and that's driving the decrease in all items inflation. Now, when the Fed looks at this, they're going to look really at core inflation because they really have no control over energy prices, very little over food prices, and seeing a huge drop in egg prices this month to a 72-month low. That's 6 years, as I remember. Not the price, but the rate of increase. So if you were the Fed and you only cared about that stuff, you'd be very heartened. But the Fed really cares about core inflation because that measures what's going to happen in the economy when you don't have this kind of volatility in energy prices. And there is some good news. We're seeing a slight tick down in service sector inflation in the core, but not enough. I think the Fed is still going to, and we'll know today when you watch this video, because today, June 14th, is a Fed meeting day. We'll know whether the Fed decided to pause. I think they're going to skip a June move, whether they signal they're going to raise rates in July. I think the Fed has a kind of political problem, which is very hard to continue raising rates and risking a recession when headline inflation, the one that everybody is reading about, is down. So I think they're going to skip. I think whether we get one in July is still open case. I think the odds are yes. But hey, sometimes you have to pay attention to both the headlines and the core number underneath it. And that's where we are right now. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you get notification when we do the next one. We've had a little editorial glitch at my end. I've been buried under trying to do, I'm trying to get up a post called 10 stocks for a core portfolio, writing blurbs, which amount to mini posts on each of those 10 stocks. Is taking longer than I expected. I'm up to 8, so I expect that to be up today or tomorrow. And you can get that for free. You can get the list of 10 for free at any of my sites, including the free site GBack Picks. If you want the 10 reasons, you can get that also on my free site. If you sign up as a member, that means that you give us your email, we send you alerts, and we'll also send you end of the day, which for that site is 8 o'clock, posts on what we put up that day, so you get everything. That also allows us to market to you for once or twice a month. So, but it's still free. So anyway, for my free site, gbbackpicks.com, with 3 portfolios, you'll find a link to that down below. My paid site, which has 6 portfolios, including ETFs and some options, and that's GBack AM. You'll find a link to that down below. You'll find a link to the 10 stocks for core portfolio post down below. And you'll also find a link to the 50% off mustache offer down below. Thanks very much for watching down below.